Hello everyone, welcome to VRC with Gaurav. In this video, we are going to solve passage number 25 from the book RC99 by Aristotle. Let's begin. Before we start off with the passage, this is a brief bio of mine. If you are looking for a good CAT coaching institute which cares for you absolutely right from day one till the day that you get into your dream good B school, well, the CAT would be a very, very good alternative to consider. If you are interested in knowing about the batch details, you can get in touch with me on this mail ID or on this contact number. Okay, without any delay, let's get started. As usual, I recommend that you pause the video here, read the entire passage, jot down the answers to the questions which I have put in using the timestamps in the description box. Start a timer when you start reading this passage. Always a good idea to time the amount of time that you took to read the passage, solve the questions. Also, maintain a good journal of it as much as possible. Okay, chalo. Without any delay, let's get started. Coming to the narrative, coming to the context, thoda sa natural science, science-based history ka bhi thoda sa touch hai. But overall, the genre of the passage is very generic, very basic, very general of sorts. You cannot, classify it strictly as a science-based passage, nor can we strictly classify it as a history-based or anything like that. Okay. The author starts off by telling us about this scientist, Georges Leclerc. He came up with a very rudimentary way of determining how old Earth might be. And the answer that he gives us is a way too huge a range. 75,000-year-olds se lekar 3 million, which is like 30 lakhs. So when you read this number, this ideally does not make a lot of sense because ऐसे तो फिर कोई भी बोल सकता है ना. I can also give you a range कि मेरा कैट में परसेंटाइल कितना आएगा भाई 60 to 100 के बीच में आ जाएगा. What? Right? So this is a problem. So after reading the first paragraph, whether this is a good number or whether this is a laughable range, that is not quite clear. But chalo, theek hai. Maybe good marks for rewarding for the effort taken place way back in time. Theek hai. Now, second paragraph is where the author starts giving his ideas. That some people, some students are of the opinion कि यार पूरी जूनी पुरानी बातों को छोड़ो यार, फ्यूचर पे फोकस करो. जो आइडियाज गलत प्रूव हो चुके हैं, which do not have any merit in them, उनके बारे में बात ही क्यों करना है, छोड़ दो, भूल जाओ. Author says नहीं, ये आप अगर ऐसा करते हो तो you are making a mistake. Okay, why? Because old ideas, even though they have been proven wrong, they still hold some value to them. Okay, an outright dismissal of past theories simply because they have been proven wrong because of new evidence may limit our understanding of current theories. This is a very, very, very important opinion, and the author is very explicit about his thought process. If you are somebody who says कि भाई ये बात तो 500 साल पहले गलत प्रूव हो गई थी, इस बारे में सिर्फ डिस्कशन ही नहीं करता, तो author would be like, बेटा आप गलती कर रहे हो, like this. Okay. In the third paragraph, he tries to talk to you about this very concept using the example of Charles Darwin and his theory of evolution. Okay. What does he say? That when Charles Darwin, इसके पीछे का थोड़ा आपको contextual knowledge होना चाहिए. If you are not aware of this, let me give you this. What happened is Charles Darwin, this very respected, very, very famous scientist, he is the one who gave us proper proof and a proper theory about evolution. Okay. What do we know about evolution? That life started on this planet from very, very basic single-celled organism, which then started growing, multiplying, more complex life forms came into being. और फिर वहां से धीरे धीरे we have so many species of plants and animals out there. And that different species of animals that we see today, कहीं ना कहीं काफी सारे इन species का एक common ancestor होगा आज से millions of years पहले. Example is horses and donkeys. Okay. Another very, very good relatable example is dogs and wolves. Okay, that dogs are domesticated, wolves cannot be tamed, cannot be domesticated, but both of them have a common ancestor if you go back sufficiently behind time. Okay, so ये हुआ Charles Darwin का theory of evolution along with other concepts like survival of the fittest and all that stuff. But keep in mind that when Charles Darwin brought this theory forward, which is a very, very recent theory, ज्यादा पुराना नहीं हो, सिर्फ 200-250 साल पुरानी चीज है ये. Okay, not even 250, only 200 years, couple of centuries only. ठीक है. If you are interested, you can go and Google this story. Fairly interesting read, but yeah. So what was people's belief इसके पहले? ठीक है कि whatever life forms we see out there, ranging from single cell organisms to very very complex human body ले लो, इतना complex organism कैसे exist कर सकता है. So multiple theories were floating around, okay, before Charles Darwin came forth on the scene and properly established this concept. Okay, so author says that although this theory today is accepted, problem इसके around ये है that this theory, the way it is taught today in schools to school children, it is taught in a vacuum. Okay, what kind of vacuum? Vacuum as in that Charles Darwin ने रातों रात ये theory बना के दे दी दुनिया को. That one fine day he had an inspiration of sort, he started jotting down his theory and voila, हो गया. एकदम से रातों रात दुनिया के beliefs पलट गए. Author says no, that did not happen. What is happening? What is the actual story? The story is that Charles Darwin took the help of a lot of information, a lot of ideas, a lot of other theories that were already in place. Okay, so let me highlight that part before you. Only by learning about the gradual development of this theory. Okay, it's not author is saying ये रातों रात नहीं create हुई. It was in the works for a lot of time, for a lot of years. And surprisingly, in this scientific theory, religious individuals have played a lot of important part. Okay, and how has religion come into play here? Let me introduce the concept of creationism before you. Okay, what is the meaning of this concept? Okay, so sorry if this green highlight is covering the part. Creationism is actually largely a Christianity based concept. Definition you can see on the screen right now. That is a religious belief that nature and other aspects of life, such as the earth, human beings, all the life forms that we see, plant, animals, they have been created thanks to supernatural act of divine creation. आसान भाषा में इवोल्यूशन नहीं हुआ है फ्रॉम वेरी बेसिक ऑर्गेनिज्म टू कॉम्प्लेक्स. नो, भगवान, परमात्मा, गॉड, व्हाटएवर you want to call it, supreme being decided to create all these different species by his own hands. That is the concept of creationism. Creationism effectively you can say that this is the bang opposite of evolution. What does theory of evolution say? That we move gradually from simple to complex. Creationism say नहीं ऐसा कुछ हुआ ही नहीं. God created all the different organisms the way we see before us. That's it. Okay. Now, obviously, everybody believes in science today, and bulk of people, majority of people do not accept this theory anymore, except ultra religious people. But still, what is happening? Why are we discussing this theory? इसके around में author gives us a very beautiful, very important insight. Okay. Now that you know the principle of creationism and understand the meaning of what exactly this theory means, and a person who believes in this is called as a creationist. Okay, the term is given before us over here, creationist. Now, here starts the fun part. You might think that people who believe in evolution, or the people who started supporting this theory of evolution, they must be completely opposite to the creation wala camp. Creationism wala isme believe nahi karega. This person won't believe in creationism. But history is not that simple. What we have is a story which author is giving us over here. That Darwin built his ideas, which came from scientists who were staunch creationists themselves. Now, this seems such a paradox. That how can a scientist, person who believes in science, believe in a theory like कि भगवान ने सारे species हाथों से बनाए खुद के? How is this possible? Okay, but thing is, there was little evidence during their time to support evolution, author says. Okay, little मतलब नहीं के बराबर. Please keep in mind, there is a difference between a little and little. Little means nothing, almost nothing. So we are talking about time period आज से 300-400 साल पहले, where there was hardly any evidence of evolution having happened. So what we have is scientists during that time. Leclerc once again making an appearance over here. Look at Leclerc's opinion, which after reading this part will feel very paradoxical, but yes, it's the truth. What is Leclerc saying? कि देखो, species fix नहीं है, समय के साथ change तो होते हैं. Means he is hinting at evolution. Okay. He even ended up saying that certain closely related species, closely related animals today, जो हमको अलग-अलग दिखते हैं, इनका एक common ancestor होगा. Example, horse and dog. They develop from a common ancestor. So in this part you can clearly see that अरे ये तो पूरा का पूरा चार्ल्स डार्विन का theory of evolution लग रहा है, right? Because all of these are core concepts there. Okay, all right, all right. But here starts the surprise after this. What is the surprise? Let's highlight that in a different color now. Okay, my struggle with the color is permanent. Everything is temporary. My struggle is permanent. Leclerc was a devout Christian creationist and devoted much of his writing to debunking of evolutionary ideas. Holy shit, holy shit. Can you imagine same person saying these two things? That यार horse and donkey का शायद किसी जमाने में must have had a common ancestor. With time, different species change over time, evolve over time. But at the same time, the same guy is dedicating a lot of time to proving evolution wrong. कि हट ऐसा तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं. In today's perspective, this might seem laughable, but ठीक है, आज से 300-400 साल पहले during the time of Leclerc, what must have been the position? We are not quite clear. But anyway, what is of importance is that you have scientists like Leclerc and Linnaeus. They both gave Darwin crucial raw material to work with. Now, here I want to talk to my uninitiated readers, people who are not used to reading. इसको literally नहीं लेना है. What do I mean by literally? That Leclerc और Linnaeus, ये दो साइंटिस्ट, ये दो बंदे, ऐसा नहीं है कि किताबें लेकर चार्ल्स डार्विन के घर पे गए, सुनो डार्विन भैया ये लो क्रूशियल हमारी कुछ आइडियाज और थेरीज, इसके दम पे तुम तुम्हारी थेरी बना लो. Not that. That is not what the author means here. What he means is that Charles Darwin drew a lot of inspiration from the ideas of Leclerc and Linnaeus. ठीक है, इन्होंने खुद की किताबों में, खुद के थेरीज में कुछ ऐसी बातें लिख कर गए होंगे which Charles Darwin thought कि नहीं ये सच है, and let me build on their ideas concerning similarities between related species, having common ancestors, blah blah blah. All of that cried out for a reasonable explanation, which eventually किसने दिया? Charles Darwin ने दिया. So as you can see, if you were to go back in time and read Leclerc का work, you will be like, हट ये आदमी तो कुछ भी बातें कर रहा है. This guy is a creationist. This guy is trying to put down evolution, but no. In his own work itself, you will find that certain ideas they are legit, and वही ideas को extrapolate करके we accept something today in the same line. ठीक है. Now author says कि चलो ये तो चार्ल्स डार्विन के जमाने की बात है. Let's go back even centuries further. Okay, even centuries before Darwin came on the scene, what was the position? Information was coming to light कि नहीं, ये जो बाइबल की थ्योरी है about creationism, that God created all the species as it is, no evolution taking place. आज घोड़ा जैसा दिखता है, भगवान ने ही वैसे बनाया. आज डॉग जैसा दिखता है, भगवान ने ही वैसा बनाया. तो information had started coming out, which raised a lot of questions about this idea, this concept of creationism in the Bible. Okay, people started taking a look at very far off places, fossils coming to light, new and different species of plant and animals, flora, fauna also getting seen. कि ये तो कुछ लिखा ही नहीं है बाइबल में, इनका तो मेंशन भी नहीं है दूर दूर तक. And then we have scientists like this geologist. Let's highlight that in a different color. Uniformitarian geologists such as Charles Lyell. इनका क्या कहना है? That you cannot have a situation where Bible is claiming that Earth is only a few thousand years old. No. You cannot have a situation like this. Okay. When we say that Earth is only a few thousand years old, you are implying that Earth is very young. मतलब जियोलॉजी के टाइम फ्रेम में अभी यार कल ही क्रिएशन हुआ अर्थ का. Not really. We all know that Earth is like literally very old. Okay. Even dinosaurs are older than 3 million years. Right. So Charles Lyell is trying to say this. कि देखो यार जितने भी माउंटेन्स, डिफरेंट ज्योग्राफिक बॉडीज हमको दिखती है अर्थ पे, it is not possible that all of these got created within a few thousand years. They must have been a work in progress for millennia or millions of years altogether. Okay, and that is why this is the way author rounds up the paragraph by saying कि देखो इस तरीके से gradually over time theories keep on changing and hence भले ही आज कोई theory accept नहीं की जाती है, but you have to take a look at its origin, you have to dive into the details, maybe some important parts are hidden in. Okay, he had mentioned this at the start, and through Darwin की ये evolution की theory का explanation, he's trying to convince us, the reader, about it. Okay, so that's the brief genesis. That's the brief, not genesis, just sorry. That's the brief gist of the passage, and I hope that you understood the narrative. Still, if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. We'll go and tackle the first question. Very first question is actually main idea question. Okay. Now, whenever we tackle a main idea question, which is very prominent as far as GRE GMAT is concerned, CAT may, unfortunately, this question category is going down. Option elimination is the way to go. Okay. Instead of hunting for the perfect answer option, try to eliminate the most bogus options first. Example, option E. There is no connection between old ideas and new ones. Author jute marega. Author is trying to prove to you, please don't do this. Okay. Everything is connected to each other. Charles Darwin ka theory has its roots in people who believed in creationism. How is this possible? But yeah, hai. So option E is very completely opposite to what the author says. Okay. The next up on the line, option B should be the one to get kicked out, because it is talking about similarities between species of plants, animals. They were too great to ignore. Picking up a very specific detail from the passage and then trying to pass it off, paint it as a main idea. Always keep in mind, main idea is generic, or general in nature. You don't focus on specific numbers, specific names, specific examples. No, a broad idea पे focus कर. ठीक है? So option B and E, they get kicked out. अभी बाकी options को आप कैसे analyze करोगे? Let's look at option D. Old ideas should not be dismissed simply because they are old and disproved. Excellent, excellent. Option D actually is straight away mentioned over here in the second paragraph at the end. And according to me, this is a very good candidate. Okay. So what will we do? We will hold it, not select it outright, but let's hold. Okay. Option C and option A, if you look at them closely, practically the same thing. What are they saying? कि डार्विन ने जो भी थियरी दिया उसमें पहले के लोगों का इन्फ्लुएंस है. Guys like Leclerc, Linnaeus, people who are creationists themselves. Okay, so option A and C both are saying the same, and then you have option D, which is also pretty much good and in line with what the author is talking about. So not an easy logjam to break, and unfortunately, my thought process, my idea is not in line with the official answer. Why? Because option C has been given as the official answer. I'll confess to you guys that this is the case, but I do not agree with it, because the moment you go ahead and say that option C is the official answer, my question to you is option A में क्या कमी है फिर? ठीक है, it is written in fewer words than option C, but effectively the end meaning that C is giving, exact same A is also giving. Okay, that Darwin gave his theory of natural selection, and religious scientists before him, just another word for guys like Leclerc and Linnaeus, they also contributed. They influenced his thought process. Clearly given over here, Leclerc and Linnaeus gave Darwin crucial raw material to work with. And same thing, that Darwin relied on a great deal of information जो उसके पहले आकर गए about the mechanism of evolution. So A and C, in my opinion, one and the same thing. I would actually rather go with option D as the answer, which is the broad theme according to me of the passage. Okay, and Charles Darwin ka story is an example, is the proof of what the author wants to convince us about. So in my opinion, option D should be the answer. But yeah, I am not going to shove it down your throat, neither the official one nor my answer, just laying out my thought process before you. You may or may not agree with me here. And unfortunately, such kind of confusion and such kind of ambiguity cropping up in a main idea question from such a reputed publication is not expected. But yeah, I still believe that whoever set this question and option did not do a good job. Okay, chalo. Let's go to the second question. Other questions are far less tricky or far less controversial. अगर author अपनी क्लास में सिखा रहा होता, okay, he is teaching a class about Darwin का theory, about evolution, not Darwin ka theory. If he were teaching a class on evolution, so what would he do? So hints are very clearly written over here. Author believes that देखो आपको हाई स्कूल में जब सिखाया जाता है डार्विन का थ्योरी, तब it is taught in a vacuum. Vacuum of sort mean कि चार्ल्स डार्विन single handedly came up with this. अरे नहीं यार ऐसा नहीं है. Please 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 take a look at history. Entire paragraph 4 is trying to drum up the message कि नहीं, people who came before Darwin, they helped him यार, they helped him. So it is very obvious that he will do the same thing in the university when teaching his students. He won't focus exclusively on Darwin, but he will also give a good primer. He will also give a good क्या कहेंगे background story, and then explain Darwin coming up with this theory of evolution. Okay, so which option gives us that? Option only and only option A. ठीक है. Other options you should be able to reject thanks to the explanation which I just gave you. Still, if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. Okay, moving ahead now. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. ASAP. Okay, chalo. Going ahead. Question 3 now. Author is discussing Darwin का theory in paragraph 3 suggests what? Okay. यहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा सा सोचना पड़ेगा. This question is a sort of mixture between an inference-based question and what is the author trying to hint at? What is the author trying to give you a message? आप क्या draw करोगे इसमें से? And maybe something along what I call as utility-based question, wherein you have to think that paragraph 3 लिखा ही क्यों आता है? जो भी ये narrative चल रहा है of this 5 paragraph, what role is para 3 playing over there? ठीक है? So very basic thing right at the start, one thing you have to do is go back and read paragraph 3 carefully once again. कि यहाँ पे बात क्या की है author ने specifically, because the question is very very focused. Okay, you cannot give a generic answer कि जो paragraph 5 में बात कर लिया है उसके बारे में कुछ option है, नहीं चलेगा. Para 3 only. Okay. Thankfully, options are very lame, very lame over here. Like option A, Darwin does not deserve the credit that he is given for his theory. What? कहीं पर भी ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा है author. Okay, author in para 3 is simply trying to say कि देखो theory of evolution is not a completely independent creation of Darwin, but something that he got a lot of help regarding the people who came before him. He used his history, he used their ideas, and then built his theory. That's it. So which option is giving us this answer? Answer option B. And he's clearly laying it out before us that Darwin का जो भी ये theory है, they should be presented in the context in which they were created. उसको एक vacuum की तरह मत पढ़ाओ आप students. Okay, absolutely bang on mark. Other options are very ridiculous. You should be able to reject them. Still, if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. Question 4, ultra lame, ultra easy, should be able to solve it within seconds. Idea that mountains and other structures take up. ये बात ही कहा है, mountains and other structure की बात केवल और केवल यहाँ पे ही की है. And these mountains took a great deal of time to form, was an idea championed by, supported by, very easy यार, Charles Lyell जैसे लोग. कौन थे? Uniformitarians. Answer option D. Please don't make me justify this answer anymore. Very lame, very straightforward. Okay. So I hope that you got all the 4 questions correct. Unfortunately, I got only 3 on 4 here thanks to the goof up in the first question regarding main idea. Still, let me know your score in the comment section and also if any doubts. Get in touch with me for really on the point, to the point CAT coaching. If you're interested in that, hit me up on this mail ID or reach out to me on this contact number. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching and I'll see you in the next video.